Did you know that there's a surprisingly common habit that could be quietly raising your stroke risk overnight? It's not smoking. It's not skipping your workouts. In fact, it's something most people, especially as they get older, do without thinking twice, but this one habit? It can slowly take a toll on your body. And the kicker? You might be doing it right before bed. Stick with me for the next few minutes. I'm going to break down what this hidden habit is, why it's so risky, particularly for seniors, and exactly what you can start doing right now to protect yourself. And stay tuned till the end, because I'll also share a surprising little tip that could go a long way in keeping your brain sharp and your heart strong. Let's dive in, because when it comes to your health, small steps can lead to big results. Now, let's be real. Aging comes with changes. Maybe you've noticed that climbing stairs takes a little more effort, or your balance isn't quite what it used to be. That's normal. But what worries me most for older adults? The rising risk of stroke. Here's a stat that might surprise you. Every year, about 800,000 people in the US have a stroke. And once you hit age 55, your chances double every decade. That's serious, and it hits home for anyone who wants to stay active, independent, and present for the people they love. And here's the thing. The habit I'm talking about today isn't something minor. It's not just a harmless indulgence. It's something that, over time, can wear down your blood vessels, quietly increasing your stroke risk. So, what is it? Too much added sugar, especially at night. Yep, that late-night cookie, the sweet tea before bed, or the bowl of ice cream while watching TV. It might seem harmless, but it's doing more behind the scenes than you think. Now don't worry, I'm not here to shame your snack choices. I'm here to help you understand why this matters and to give you simple, realistic ways to shift those habits so you feel better, stronger, and more in control. Here's the deal, every time you eat sugar, especially refined sugar, your blood sugar spikes. And over time, those spikes can damage the lining of your blood vessels. Think of your blood vessels like plumbing in your house. When they're clogged or worn out, they stop working the way they should. As we age, those vessels naturally get less flexible. Add sugar to the mix, and the stress increases. It can lead to inflammation, higher blood pressure, and even microclots, all of which are tied to increased stroke risk. In fact, research shows that people who regularly consume high amounts of added sugar have a 20 to 30% higher risk of stroke than those who limit it. And here's what makes nighttime sugar especially sneaky. When you eat sugary foods right before bed, your body doesn't get the chance to burn it off or process it properly. Instead, your blood sugar stays elevated while you sleep, putting your blood vessels under prolonged stress. That's how this habit raises your stroke risk while you sleep. But the good news? You can absolutely turn this around. It starts with a few simple, practical changes. And I've got 3 powerful strategies to help you get started. Let's begin with strategy number 1. Watch the clock. Timing your meals and snacks makes a huge difference. One of the easiest and most effective things you can do is stop eating sugary foods, or even heavy meals, within about 3 hours of going to bed. Why is that so important? Because when you eat late, especially carb-heavy or sweet foods, your body has to stay active processing it while you're trying to rest. Your insulin levels stay high. Your blood sugar stays elevated. And that disrupts your body's natural rhythm. One study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that late-night eating can actually raise inflammation and blood pressure, 2 major red flags for stroke. So what can you do instead? Try this. If you're feeling snacky in the evening, reach for something light but nourishing. A handful of almonds. A slice of apple with natural peanut butter. Or maybe a few berries with plain yogurt. These options won't spike your blood sugar, and they actually support your blood vessels with fiber, protein, and healthy fats. Let me tell you about my friend Susan. She's 68 and used to wind down every night with a bowl of ice cream. It was her little reward after a long day. But after learning more about how sugar affects blood pressure and brain health, she made a simple switch: fresh berries with a little yogurt. Within weeks, she told me she was waking up feeling more rested. And her doctor noticed her blood pressure was steadier at her next visit. Small change. Big impact. Now, let's move on to strategy number 2. Don't just cut out the bad, add in the good. It's not only about what you take away. It's also about what you bring to your plate. Here's something that might surprise you. Certain foods can actually help repair your blood vessels and reduce inflammation. One of the most powerful categories. Dark leafy greens. Think spinach, kale, collards, greens that are rich in natural nitrates. Why does that matter? Nitrates help your blood vessels relax and widen, improving circulation and reducing blood pressure. A study from the American Heart Association found that eating just 1 cup of nitrate-rich veggies a day can cut stroke risk by up to 14%. And that's not all. These greens are packed with antioxidants that fight inflammation, which means less stress on your heart and brain. If you're not a fan of salads, don't worry, you've got options. Toss a handful of spinach into your morning smoothie. Stir some kale into your soup. Or steam collards as a side dish with dinner. Take John, for example. He's 72 and wasn't thrilled about eating kale. But he started small, just a side salad a couple of nights a week. Now, he says he has more energy, and his cholesterol levels dropped noticeably at his last checkup. No crash diets. No big overhauls. Just consistent, doable tweaks, so don't think you have to reinvent your entire diet. Start by adding a serving of dark greens to your day. Your blood vessels, and your brain, will thank you. Coming up next, movement, hydration, and one golden spice that could change everything. Let's keep going. Now that you know how powerful your food choices can be, especially cutting back on sugar and adding leafy greens, let's move into another major player when it comes to stroke prevention, movement. And no, I'm not talking about hitting the gym or training for a marathon. The kind of movement I'm talking about is simple, doable, and incredibly effective. Here's the truth. Just a little bit of daily movement can make a massive difference in your overall stroke risk. You've probably heard that exercise is good for your heart, and that's true. But it's also one of the best things you can do for your brain, especially when it comes to preventing strokes. That's because physical activity helps regulate blood sugar, keeps blood vessels flexible, and reduces inflammation, all key factors in keeping strokes at bay. And the best part? It doesn't take hours a day. Just 15 to 20 minutes of walking can work wonders. Let's look at the numbers. A Harvard study found that seniors who walked briskly for about 150 minutes a week, that's just over 20 minutes a day, cut their risk of stroke by nearly 30%. That's huge, and if you time your walks right, you get even more benefit. Taking a short walk after dinner, for example, helps your body process blood sugar more efficiently. Instead of that sugar lingering in your bloodstream overnight, your muscles use it for energy. That takes pressure off your blood vessels, and helps you sleep better, too. Here's a real-life example. My neighbor Linda, who's 66, started taking short evening walks with her dog after dinner. Nothing fancy, just around the block. But over time, those little walks added up. She lost a few pounds, she felt more energized, and her doctor told her that her blood pressure was the lowest it had been in years. She told me it's now her favorite part of the day. A little fresh air, a little movement, and a big difference in how she feels. So, here's your takeaway: lace up your shoes and move your body a little every day. It doesn't have to be intense. Just consistent. Whether it's walking, stretching, dancing, or even light gardening, every bit counts. Now let's talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention: hydration. Believe it or not, staying properly hydrated is one of the easiest ways to lower your stroke risk. But it's also something that many seniors unintentionally struggle with. Here's why: as we age, our sense of thirst dulls. That means we might not feel thirsty even when our bodies need water. And that mild, ongoing dehydration can make your blood thicker and more prone to clotting. That's not great news when you're trying to protect your heart and brain. In fact, a study published in the journal Stroke found that even mild dehydration can reduce blood flow to the brain and increase the risk of clot formation. So how much water do you need? A general rule is about 8 glasses a day, though that can vary based on your size, activity level, and overall health. And don't worry, it doesn't all have to be plain water. Hydrating foods like cucumbers, watermelon, oranges, and celery all count. Herbal teas, broths, and even sparkling water can help, too. Just go easy on the sugary drinks, especially at night. If plain water isn't appealing to you, try flavoring it naturally with a slice of lemon, some mint leaves, or even a splash of unsweetened cranberry juice. Here's an easy win. My patient Robert, who's 70, started carrying a reusable water bottle with him everywhere he went. He added a reminder on his phone to take a few sips every hour. And he even swapped his evening soda for a glass of sparkling water with a slice of lime. Within a few weeks, he told me he felt more awake during the day and less foggy in the mornings. His doctor also noticed an improvement in his blood pressure and cholesterol. Sometimes, it's the little things that make the biggest impact. Now, we've talked about food, movement, and water, but here's something you might not expect to play a role in stroke prevention: spices. Yep, your spice cabinet might hold more power than you think. Let's talk about turmeric. You've probably heard of it. It's that bright yellow spice commonly used in curry. But turmeric isn't just flavorful. It contains a powerful compound called curcumin, which has been studied for its ability to fight inflammation and protect blood vessels. Inflammation plays a key role in the development of blood clots and narrowing of arteries, both of which increase your stroke risk. Curcumin works to calm that inflammation and support overall cardiovascular health. A study from the Journal of Nutrition found that curcumin may improve blood vessel function and reduce clot risk. That's big news for anyone looking for natural ways to stay healthy, and the best part? You don't need a lot. Just a pinch of turmeric here and there, sprinkled in soup, stirred into scrambled eggs, or added to a smoothie, can give your body a boost. If you're not sure where to start, try making a simple turmeric tea. Just warm some almond milk or water, add a pinch of turmeric and cinnamon, and a tiny bit of honey if you like. It's soothing, anti-inflammatory, and a great bedtime drink without the sugar. Here's a quick story. My friend Mary, who's 64, started adding turmeric to her oatmeal in the mornings. Just a small sprinkle. She says it gives her a warm, earthy flavor she loves, and she's noticed less stiffness in her joints and more energy throughout the day. A quick heads up, though, if you're on blood thinners or any other medication, make sure to check with your doctor before adding turmeric regularly. While it's natural, it can interact with some medications. Always better to be safe. Alright, let's pause for a moment and bring these tips together. Just think about how doable these changes are: walking for 15 minutes after dinner, drinking more water throughout the day, adding spinach to your smoothie, reaching for almonds instead of cookies at night, stirring a little turmeric into your soup or tea. None of this requires a major lifestyle overhaul. But together, these small habits create a protective shield around your heart, your brain, and your quality of life. And the truth is, you deserve that protection. You've worked hard. You've taken care of others. Now it's time to take care of yourself, too. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. A little better each day is more than enough to move the needle. So, now that we've covered the hidden dangers of sugar, the benefits of leafy greens, the power of daily movement, hydration, and even turmeric, what does all of this mean for you, today, right now? It means you have the tools. Real, practical tools that fit into your everyday routine, without turning your life upside down. Let's bring this home with a quick recap of the changes that can seriously lower your risk of stroke, especially as you get older. First, watch those late-night snacks. That sweet treat after dinner might feel like a reward, but over time, those sugar spikes, especially before bed, can wear down your blood vessels and quietly raise your stroke risk. Instead, reach for smart, blood sugar-friendly options: a few nuts, a bit of Greek yogurt, or some fresh fruit. Give your body a break at night so it can truly rest and repair. Second, add in those greens. You don't have to go full vegetarian, but giving your plate a splash of spinach, kale, or collard greens a few times a week can help your blood vessels relax and reduce inflammation. Think of it as feeding your brain and heart directly. Third, move a little more. If you can build the simple habit of a 15-minute walk after dinner, you're not just burning off a few calories, you're actively lowering blood sugar, improving circulation, and boosting your mood. Plus, it's a great way to unwind, reflect, or catch up with a loved one. Fourth, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Keep a water bottle nearby, sip throughout the day, and eat more water-rich foods like watermelon, cucumbers, and oranges. Staying hydrated helps your blood flow more easily, reducing the risk of clots that can lead to stroke. Fifth, use your spices wisely. A sprinkle of turmeric here and there adds flavor and powerful anti-inflammatory benefits. Curcumin, the key compound in turmeric, has shown promising results in reducing the kind of inflammation that damages blood vessels. Here's the bigger picture: none of these tips require a major lifestyle makeover. They're not extreme. They're not overwhelming. And most importantly, they're sustainable. You don't need to do everything at once. Start with one change. Maybe you swap out your evening dessert. Maybe tomorrow you add a few greens to your lunch. Or maybe tonight, you take that short walk around the block. Whatever it is, start small. Start today. I've seen firsthand how these little changes ripple outward. I've watched people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s take back control of their health. Energy and independence with steps just like these. They didn't chase perfection. They just made a choice to do better. To care for their body. To invest in more years with their grandkids. More dinners with friends. More mornings feeling clear-headed and ready to take on the day. And now, it's your turn, because here's the truth: you deserve to feel strong. You deserve to feel capable. And yes, you deserve to feel safe in your own body. By being aware of the small habits that raise your risk, like too much sugar late at night, and actively choosing habits that lower that risk, you're setting yourself up for a longer, healthier life. You're giving your future self the greatest gift: peace of mind. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final thought, because this journey is about more than just preventing strokes. It's about building a life that feels good to live. A life where you're energized, mobile, and mentally sharp. Where your body supports your dreams, instead of holding you back. And yes, that takes intention. But with the right knowledge, and the willingness to take action, you're already halfway there. So, what's one small thing you can start today? Maybe it's setting a timer to stop eating after dinner. Maybe it's filling up a water bottle in the morning. Or maybe you're going to dust off those sneakers and take a walk after your next meal. Whatever it is, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one change you're going to try first? I'd love to know, and I'll be cheering you on every step of the way. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up so others can find it too. Share it with someone you care about, especially someone who might not realize how these daily habits can impact their brain and heart health. We rise together when we support each other. And if you want more tips on how to stay healthy, strong, and independent as you age, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss future videos. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Remember, your health is in your hands, and small changes today can create big results tomorrow. Stay curious. Stay consistent. And above all, stay well. I'll see you in the next one.